she wasn't able to send me the money she was supposed to. She sent me something, so I was able to call them and make another one, even though it costed me more money. I've got service for a little while longer, and once I get this first paycheck, I'm just gonna swear it up, put it back on auto pay, and then we're not gonna have anything to deal with. I'm just super excited that I got a job, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't have to take on all the bills because, she has her own bills and stuff that she has to pay. And, well, I do my best and I try and pay those too because, you know, that's the woman I love. And on top of that, you know, I want to see my family succeed, you know what I mean? But I got like $10 right here on top of the $50 she just sent me. So, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I spent $10 yesterday. That reminds me, I gotta get a bagel in here before the end of the day because I need those bonus stars, man. And I'm hoping, my assignment for my new job because I signed my contract is local. Even if it's not, that means I gotta travel. But I don't want to keep borrowing money because then I gotta pay it back. But I called my brother-in-law yesterday because I had to borrow some more money from him. And I told him like this: when I get that paycheck, I'm just gonna cash it out and pay up the debt. You know what I'm saying? He knows I'm good for it. He knows my situation. You know what I'm saying? I've had to borrow money from him before. I'm glad that he's there to help me when I need it because you know people don't like giving people money that don't pay it and don't put forth the effort. You know what I mean? And so we can only do what we can do. And I just want to be the best I can be. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I went live this morning and somebody said something about they was in the MEA and and this and that. And I was like, cool, bro. He's like, I got a $3 billion net worth. Cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there yet, but I'm finna get there. You know what I'm saying? I already own one home. You know what I'm saying? About to go to work and get a second job, and then I'm gonna buy a second house. And you know, I'm just gonna be the best I can be. Do it because that's what I said I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? I say what I mean what I say. And that not only makes me feel good and I do what I'm supposed to, but that makes sure, the family is good, just like I told her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take the $50 she sent me on the Apple Pay and this little bit of couple of dollars right here, and we're going to go pay this bill up again. You know what I'm saying? So that way, you know what I'm saying? The $200 payment I gotta make is 150. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to lose my service. Like I told them, I've been on my own plan with T-Mobile. You know what I'm saying, for 7.5 years. You know what I'm saying? And I stick with them because they are good. Normally, I don't make payment arrangements. Normally, my stuff is paid in full all the time. But because I've been unemployed for a year and the wife was unemployed for 4 months, 5 months, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have that money. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta pay my brother-in-law back. I gotta catch up on credit cards. I gotta, pay those. I gotta pay the phone bill. I gotta pay the people back. It's a hassle, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do because I have to have my phone for my job. You know what I'm saying? Action report that I have to file at work. Hello, you know, I'm just trying to be the best I can. And I don't like to struggle, you know. I don't wish unemployment or homelessness on anybody. And the reason for that is because most of us, saying we do live paycheck to paycheck, and these things happen. You know what I mean? But I'm to the point where I don't want this anymore. I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get bigger. Hello. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for putting up with my shenanigans. You know, people come and they go. That's how the insane live streaming works. And I've done live streaming here on YouTube. I've done it on a handful of other apps. You know what I'm saying? I do some live streaming on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm hoping that with the fact that you guys do tune in and you hit the like and the subscribe and all of that, you know what I'm saying? It makes a difference, and you can, you know what I'm saying, take what's going on, and it can be motivation and influence for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I literally just put in 262 applications for jobs, right? I went all the way an hour and a half to a casino, which took me 4 hours to get on the bus. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get up there, have an interview. They literally said that they liked me. You know what I mean? They liked my interview. They liked my resume, this, that, the other. But I wasn't selected because they have more qualified candidates. And then they sent me the generic email, and I'm like, why would you send me a generic email but not tell me what I can do to improve myself? You know what I'm saying? I went to school and got a business degree to make more money, and I have yet to put that $40,000 degree to use. And I'm not worried about it because I didn't do it because I wanted to be in the business industry. I did it for the business industry knowledge because I'm a business owner outside of being a security guard, outside of dealing with my family, outside of, you know what I'm saying, everything else that I have going on. I'm a knowledge seeker. I do not like to be, you know what I'm saying, stagnant. And after being stagnant for a year because I was unemployed, you know what I'm saying? Now I have a job. I signed my contract yesterday. I'm literally waiting on the company to assign me an assignment and give me my uniforms. Once I get those, I'm at the job every day, and I'm gonna work. That's what I'm gonna do because that's what needs to be done. You know, you have to put in the work to get what you want out of life. I'm saying I have not given up. I have, like I said, been homeless. I've lived in cars. I've lived in tents. I've lived in trap houses. I've done all of these things, while working a full-time job, while going to school, trying to better myself. And I wasn't mad at the casino company that I went and applied to. I was more so mad that they sent me the generic email that they sent to everybody. Oh, thank you for applying. We're going to move on and this and that. But my question to you is, how do you improve something if you don't know what it is or where it is that you are lacking to make a difference, right? That's where I had a problem. So I messaged them back politely and professionally. How is it that I'm supposed to believe that you're going to select me for this same position next time? Because that's the only positions that I apply for with this particular company. Because it's the only thing that I'm qualified for. If you cannot tell me where I need to improve to be put up on your list as a higher candidate, a candidate that will be selected, that will be chosen, I don't know. But you know what? I'm not going to give up on the company because they are a great company to work for. I talked with a handful of people that worked there. I know some people that have worked there in the past, not family or related, but I know some people that work there, and enjoy their job. And I enjoyed being there for the interview and whatnot. You know what I mean? It was a lot of fun to actually go up there and view the place. And, you know what I'm saying? I sat in a cafe and I had food, and it was good food. It wasn't worth what I spent on it, but it was good food. And it wasn't that. I just want that opportunity because I know that I'm capable of doing everything that I said I would, right? She wanted to, oh, here's $50, and didn't want to tell me, oh, I'm gonna try. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put forth the effort. I always do. I don't have a choice but to be the best that I can be. I don't have a choice but to, put the work in. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I did it, and I'm gonna continue to do it. You know, because that's what it is. If you don't put in, you don't succeed. If you don't manifest it and you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Listen, I come into the Starbucks cafe every day. I've been coming to the cafe for like a decade plus. And I'm saying I know everybody here. They're great people. They're kind. You know, they're always willing to help. There's been days that I couldn't pay for a cup of coffee, but one anyway. You know, I was sitting in here this morning. Somebody asked me if I wanted a cup of coffee, and I had a cup of coffee sitting right here in front of me. But instead of buying me a cup of coffee, she decided to buy me something to eat, which was very, very nice. And since and I wasn't mad. I accepted the item because I didn't want to be rude, But that also gives me the drive and the determination to, get this job, work some hours and make some money, and then hey, I'm gonna pay it forward to somebody. I've literally come into this cafe and I've said, here's $20 or here's $40, and you know, make the next 5 customers stuff paid for, because people have done it for me. And I believe paying it forward and doing the best you can is all that you can do. You know, everybody's circumstances are the same, but different, right? You may be going through a hardship. You may be unemployed. You may be homeless. But I know with drive and determination, you can beat it. And you know how I know this? Because I've beat it. I've been unemployed like a year and 2 months out of the whole 5 years that I've been working. I've been homeless a third of my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 32 years old. So a third of that, like 11 years, 11 and a half years, right? But I'm not knocking it because I know that if I can do it, somebody else can do it. You know what I'm saying? I watch a bunch of content creators. There's a handful of them that I'm trying to collaborate with, not because I want to just collaborate, but because I have good insights and, I'm saying, they have made a difference in my life, and I want to return that favor and make a difference in somebody else's life. So I'm just doing the best that I can. I'm going to continue to put this work in. I'm going to continue to get caught up on the bills. I got to call the credit card companies and talk with them, because I'm behind on the credit cards, I'm behind on the phone, I'm behind on the debt reconsolidation. But now that I have a job, I'm saying, I'm going to get caught up on all of that. It might take me a month or two, to pay the bills and get caught up. But after that, all these bills are going to go back on auto pay like they were before I lost my job. And I'm saying, as long as there's money in that account, the bills are paid, which is great for me because then I don't have to worry about it. That makes me feel good. That makes the wife feel good because the bills are paid. She's got gas in the car to take the kids back and forth to school, this, that, the other, go to work. And that's all we can do. you know I'm going to succeed, you're right, because I don't have a choice. you know just like everybody else that puts the work in is going to succeed too. So how much effort do you want to put in? Because only you can put the effort. Nothing in this life is handed to you, you know and that's the way that I feel, because that's what I've seen. Experience is the best teacher in life. It's not street smarts, it's not book smarts, it's experience. Now, don't get me wrong, the book smarts, the street smarts, they play part because that is experience. But overall, it is experience that makes the difference. It is experience that tells you what happens and what doesn't. So, I hope that my words have been encouraging. I hope that, somebody is able to look at my situation and understand you're not alone, and things will change if you put forth the effort to make them change. I'm saying nothing is ever handed to you in life, right? Look at, the millionaires and the billionaires, right? I have heard from many of them in press conferences and things like that, where they say you're gonna take some losses sometimes to take a win. No trend is ever up, no trend is ever all the way down. They fluctuate, and that's life. So I hope, like I said, my words and my struggles help another person. You know, like I was in the Tacoma Mall a couple of months ago, and listen, I had to go in there and get my phone fixed because my phone had gotten broken, and I had gone to the restroom, and because I was in there for like a half an hour because I had got problems, they sat there and said, "Oh, we got a call. You were in here doing something you weren't supposed to be doing." And I said, "What? I'm the only one in here. Why would I be doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing?" So, I finished up. Then the guy said, "Oh, you have to leave." I said, "Well, can I wash my hands?" You know what I mean? And I did that. And after going to the restroom, all I wanted to do was go back into the food court and spend more money in the mall because I was hungry at the time. And said they made me leave for the day. But as I'm leaving, I raise up my sleeves, right? And I'm having the guy look at me. I'm like, "Do I look like I'm an addict?" Because that's what he said I was doing. I was in the restroom doing drugs. I was like, "I'm not in here doing drugs, man. I'm in here going to the restroom like a civilized, normal person." And he got all mad. I could have pushed the issue. I could have called the security guard company because I worked for that company too. But I was like, you know what? I know how that is to, get somebody reprimanded or have actions taken against them that can put their career on the line. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm literally trying to go get an armed endorsement so I can carry a firearm at work because it makes more money, even though it's more risk. But I'm also trying to get uh, security clearance from, the Department of Homeland Security. I'm also trying to get the TWIC card that allows me to go into restricted areas and ports and vessels. And I'm also trying to do security on a cruise ship, not just because I want to be on a boat for, a month or two, but the benefits are good. I get to travel and I get to help other people. I've always wanted to help people. That's why I do this live streaming and I put up the shorts daily and I do all these things because I hope that with you guys hearing my experiences and my struggles, it gives you drive, motivation, and determination to make different choices and do different things. So that way, you guys don't end up in the situation. Because 90% of us Americans and even other countries in the world, we live paycheck to paycheck. It can be hard. It's not fun to, be able to pay the bills one day and then the next, no, hey, I don't have it and I'm going to lose everything. And I was in the situation that I was in because I chose to make sure the wife and kids, you know, had more than I did. And I don't regret the decision I made. Not at all, not one bit. I just want to make sure that they are taken care of because I'm taken care of that way, right? She'll wash my clothes. She'll make sure I eat something. She'll make sure, I have money in my pocket. And I do the same because that's what teamwork is. You know, I to go home because I don't like the mother-in-law, right? And she's been there, which I have no problems, no harms, no fouls. It's just you got mad at me And you said that I was disrespectful for making sure she got to a funeral because her best friend's mother died. And I'm like, why are you getting mad about how she got to this funeral? I would just be happy that, hey, she got here, and then you want to call her in the graveyard. And that's what really set me off, because, you know, I'm about to bury this person and never see them again. Mind you, I only met the woman twice. You know what I'm saying? Right before this woman died, we had gone over to her house to help her clean it up. You know what I'm saying? And her house wasn't dirty at all. She just needed like some vacuuming and some dusting and some small stuff, you know what I'm saying, that she couldn't do because the lady was in a chair. We went over there, we did it to help out, and you know what I'm saying, not only did that make me feel good to, help support, but it made her feel good too. You know, I met this lady twice within like a 2 week period, and then she got a phone call and was like, "Oh, this person's passed away," and I know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? I've lost grandma, I've lost my mom, I lost my brother, I lost friends, I lost other family members. You know what I'm saying? So I know what that's like. I would feel really really bad if I had the ability to make sure you got to a funeral and you didn't get there because of me, even though I could have made sure you got there. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though her friend was like, "Oh, I don't want you here for this. I don't want you here for this." I kind of had to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Hey, I met your mom twice. This, that, the other, but technically I'm her ride, so I have to be here. I wasn't gonna, you know what I'm saying, make her walk halfway across the town. I wasn't gonna, you know what I'm saying, drop her off and then leave and not come back. So I just stayed there. You know what I'm saying? And then it came time to go to the reception and food, and she got all mad about that. I was like, you know what I'm saying, if it's that big of a deal, I'll give you the $40 that this plate cost. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And then I had a deep conversation with one of her uncles, and you know what I'm saying. He was like, "Hey, man, I don't know you. You don't really know me, but I can see that you're a good dude and you're respectful and you're this and you're that." And I was like, "Yeah." And so I just did the best that I could because that's all you can do is put your foot. So I'm not mad. I'm just glad that I was able to help out. And now I'm glad that other people are able to help me. You know what I'm saying? You literally sat here and, keep your head up, keep it going, and you'll succeed. And that's the same thing I tell you guys. Be the best you can be every day, all day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for coming back. I definitely appreciate it. I'm going to end this now because I need to go do some personal stuff, and I got more bills to pay, and I'm gonna, end up coming live again throughout the day or making shorts throughout the day, and that's what it's gonna be. I definitely appreciate it, like I said, because you guys are the reason that I do these things. I just hope that, as people have encouraged me to do this, I hope that my words are encouraging to you. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share, tune in for more to come.